Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nida. Okay, so today we will learn about how to configure ARP or Address Resolution Protocol on MikroTik. ARP or Address Resolution Protocol is a protocol in TCP or IP protocol switch, which is for mapping between IP address with MAC address that client computer has. The purpose mapping between IP address with MAC address is for the client couldn't change IP address whenever they want. If the client change IP address, they will automatically get connected with router or even internet. This is the topology that I use. Laptop connected with LAN cable use Ether 0, and then switch connected with LAN cable use Ether 1 to laptop, and then switch connected with LAN cable use Ether 2 to router, and then router connected with LAN cable use Ether 2 to switch. Okay, and then open Winbox using MAC address for login, and then user is admin without password, and then click connect. Click new terminal. Before we do configuration, we should check interface that we use using command interface print, and then click enter. Okay, so in here I'm going to using Ether2 who connected with laptop for the HTTP server. Okay, but first we should enable 11. For activating it, type interface wireless enable 11 and then click enter. Okay, and then we do checking use interface wireless print and then click enter. Okay, we could see that 11 just active because the flags is not X or disabled again. Okay, next, make security profiles for 11. The purpose is for making password 11, so it would more secure. Type interface and then wireless security profiles and then 8 name Nida. And here I'm gonna use my name for security profiles and then mode dynamic case. And then authentication tape, I'm using WPA PSK and then WPA to PSK. Okay. After that, we configuration unique key shippers. Okay, so in here I'm gonna use AES strip CCM and then group shippers. In here I'm gonna use AES strip CCM. And then we make password for WPA use WPA pressure K tidak 1234, and then for WPA2 pressure K tidak 1234, and then click enter. Okay, after that we do checking use interface wireless security profiles print and then click enter. Okay, so in here we could see the configuration is done by the name is Nida, and then we click Q as quit. Okay. Next, we do scan to 11 to make sure what access point we could use. Okay. Type interface and then wireless and then scan 11. Okay, and then click enter. Okay. So in here, I'm gonna use NIDA for SSD for 11. Okay, and then configuration 11, type interface and then wireless and then set 11 and then mode stations, and then I'm gonna use 2 gigahertz BGN, and also I'm gonna use SSID NIDA, and then security profiles is NIDA 2, and then click enter. Okay, and then checking the configuration use interface wireless print and then click enter. We could see the status of LAN 1 is running. We could see the flag is R, that means LAN 1 just running. Okay. Okay. And then we make IP address for the HTTP server using command IP address and then add address 28.28.28.1/24 and then interface. I'm gonna use interface Ether 2 and also we click enter. Okay, and then we do checking for IP address using IP address print, and then click enter. And then we could see that Ether2 just got IP address. Okay, then do configure the DHCP server setup, type IP and then DHCP server and then setup, and click enter. First, we should select interface to run the DHCP server on. So in here, I'm gonna use Ether2 for the DHCP server and then click enter. And then we should select network for the DHCP server address. In here, I'm gonna use 28.28.28.0/24 and then click enter. And then we should select gateway for given network. In here, I'm gonna use gateway 28.28.28.1 and then click enter. And then we should select pool of IP address given out by the DHCP server. In here, I'm gonna use 28.28.28.2 until 28.28.28.254 and then click enter. Okay, in here we should select then a server that we will use. In here, I'm gonna use apgoogle.com is 8.8.8.8 and then click enter. Okay, we should select list time. I'm gonna use 10 minutes for DHCP server. Okay, and then enter. Okay, do checking to DHCP server using command IP and then DHCP server and then print. Okay, we could see the configuration DHCP server is successful. Okay, first, make sure the Ethernet client setting is obtained. And then click change adapter options. Click Ethernet. And then properties. And then click Internet Protocol version 4. Properties. Okay, so make sure that Ethernet Protocol version 4 setting is obtained and then click OK. Close. Close. Okay. And then we do disable and enable first. Enable. Okay, and then click details. Okay, so we could see that we just got IP address. The IP address is 28.28.28.254 with the subnet max is /24. And also we just got DNS server 8.8.8.8 send configuration as router. Okay, and then close. Close. Okay, if we want to do checking on MikroTik, what's client connected with the DHCP server, we could use AP and then DHCP server and then list print and then click enter. We could see in here the host name with Nida Fabianka with IP address is 28.28.28.254 and then status is dynamic, that means automatically. Okay. In here, I'm gonna do checking and client use command prompt. We use ping, type ping 28.28.28.1 and then click enter. Okay, in here the result is replay. That means client has been connected with router and then we close. Okay. Okay, so we will do configuration ARP or address resolution protocol. Okay, first, to activating ARP to the DHCP server, type IP and then DHCP server. Okay, and then set numbers 0 and then 8 ARP and then click yes and then click enter. Okay, then we do checking using IP DHCP server print and then click enter. Okay, so in here we could see the IP DHCP server at ARP just activate. Okay. Next, we could do checking using list table ARP, type IP, and then ARP print. And then we click enter. Okay, so in here we could see that client has been connected with the DHCP server with MAC address and also status are 8 DHCP, D dynamic, and then C complete. Okay. Then change IRP configuration on interface Ether 2 become replay only using interface Ethernet, and then set Ether 2, and then IRP replay only, and then click enter. Okay, and then we reconnect again, and then do checking again using interface, and then in Ethernet, and then print, and then click enter. Also, we could see that the ARP configuration just changed become replay only on Ethernet 2. Okay, before we doing checking in client, we should change IP address with static IP. Okay, we open Ethernet and then properties, and then Ethernet protocol version 4 properties. Use the following IP address, and then in here I'm gonna use 28, 28, 28, 28. One network with IP router, and then subnet max is /24, and then the gateway is IP router. They are 28, 28, 28, and then 1. Okay, and then click OK, close, and close. Okay, so we do ping using IP address router, type ping 28.28.28.1, and then click enter. Okay, so we could see that the result is request timeout. That means the client is not connected with router again. Okay, thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.